Welcome to I Love English TV.
The 5 a.m. Secret. Amazing story. This is the story of a man who had nothing. No money, no future, no hope. Until one day he discovered a simple secret. He started waking up at 5 a.m. every single morning. And in just 90 days, his entire life changed. What he did during those quiet early hours might shock you. And it might be exactly what you've been looking for. But before we continue, let me ask you something. What time do you usually wake up? What time are you listening right now? And where are you from? Be honest. Tell me in your mind or write it somewhere. In a small industrial town where machines never stopped, there lived a 30-year-old man named David. David worked as a night security guard in a large, cold warehouse. Every evening at 8 p.m. he went to work. Every morning at 6 a.m. he walked back home. Tired, silent, empty. His salary was barely enough to survive. He lived in a tiny one-room apartment. The fan was broken, the light was weak. He slept on a thin mattress on the floor. His clothes were old, his shoes full of holes. But the worst part wasn't the money. It was the feeling that his life was going nowhere. Every morning as he walked home, the town was waking up. He would see families having breakfast, children laughing, getting ready for school, men putting on clean shirts, going to their offices. And every time a question hit his heart. Will this be my life forever? He tried to change. He really did. He thought about learning new skills, starting something different. But he was always too tired. Work drained him. Sleep controlled him. Days passed. Nothing changed. He felt useless, like his life had no meaning. People worked during the day and rested at night. But him, he lived in reverse. alone, disconnected. His mother lived in the countryside. She called him once a week. David, my son, when will your life get better? I'm getting old. I want to see you succeed before I die. David smiled, even though she couldn't see it. Soon, Mama, soon. I'm working on it. But the truth? He wasn't working on anything. Not because he was lazy, but because he didn't know how. On a cold Thursday morning in March, David's phone rang just as he was leaving work. He almost ignored it, but something made him answer. It was his sister. Her voice was shaking. David, you need to come home now. Mama collapsed. She's in the hospital. Everything inside him froze. His heart didn't beat. It dropped. He didn't think. He didn't speak. He ran. He took the first bus to the village. A 3-hour journey that felt like a lifetime. When he arrived at the small clinic, the smell of medicine, the silence, the fear, it all hit him at once. His mother was lying in bed, weak, fragile, but awake. The doctor spoke quietly. She fainted. Too much stress, too much exhaustion. She needs rest, better food, medicine. Then he paused. Things they couldn't afford. David sat beside her. He held her hand. It felt lighter than ever before. She looked at him and smiled weakly. David, her voice barely a whisper. I don't have much time left. Please, my son, don't waste your life like I wasted mine. Find a way. Promise me. David couldn't speak. He just nodded. A few minutes later, she fell asleep. David stayed there in silence, looking at her hands, wrinkled, rough, hands that worked in the fields for decades. And suddenly, he saw the truth. She worked her whole life just like him. Different place, same struggle, same pain, same ending. Something inside him broke, but not sadness. No, this time it was anger. He stood up and walked outside. It was still dark, just before dawn. 5 a.m. The village was quiet, but not empty. A few farmers were already walking to their fields. Step by step, same routine, same life. Birds began to sing. The air was cold, fresh, alive. And in that moment, standing alone in the quiet dawn, David made a decision. No more. I will not live like this anymore. I don't care how hard it will be. I don't care how long it takes. I will find a way. That morning, for the first time in his life, David didn't go back to sleep. He sat outside the clinic, watching the sun rise. And he asked himself one question. If I don't change now, when? One morning, something different happened. David was walking home, exhausted as always, when he saw an old man sitting outside a small cafe. The old man was calm, smiling, drinking tea, as if he had no worries in the world. David stopped. He didn't know why, but he sat next to him. The old man looked at him and said, "You look tired, but not from work." David was surprised. "How do you know?" The old man smiled. "Because I was you many years ago." That sentence hit deep. David leaned closer. "What changed your life?" The old man took a slow sip of tea and said, I stopped waking up just to survive and started waking up to build my life. David frowned. I don't understand. The old man said, Tomorrow, wake up at 5 a.m. David laughed. 5 a.m.? I finish work at 6. The old man looked straight into his eyes. Do you want your life to stay the same? Young man, I want to tell you a secret. It changed my life 30 years ago. The hours from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. are magic. In this time, you can build the life you want. Other people are still sleeping. David felt something inside. He felt hope. He had not felt hope for a long time. But how? He thought. I work until 6 a.m. Mr. Thomas gave him a card. It had his phone number. He said, If you want to change your life, call me. I will help you. But only if you are serious. It needs discipline. David looked at the card. He promised himself, I will wake up at 5 a.m. I will do it. That evening, David sat on his bed. The streets were quiet. The streets were quiet. He took a deep breath. He called Mr. Thomas. Hello, Mr. Thomas, he said. Hello, David, said Thomas. I am glad you called. Are you ready to change your life? Yes, said David. I want to try. I want hope. Thomas smiled. Good. Listen, I will tell you what helped me. In the morning, the world is quiet. You can think. You can move your body. You can dream. That is why I wake up at 5 a.m. Exercise is important. It makes your body strong. When your body is strong, your mind is also strong. You feel energy and courage. Sleep is important too. Go to bed early. If your body rests, your mind works better. In the morning, take time to think. Write your dreams. Make small plans. Imagine the life you want. This quiet time is very powerful. When you do these things, body, mind, and dreams work together. Slowly, life changes. You feel stronger. You feel calmer. You feel happy. David listened. He imagined himself running, writing, dreaming. He felt hope growing. By the end of the call, he felt fire in his chest. He whispered, "I will do it. I will wake up at 5 a.m. I will follow this path." Next morning, the alarm rang. David opened his eyes. The world was quiet. He put on his shoes. He ran. His muscles hurt, but he smiled. After running, he sat on a bench. He wrote his dreams in a notebook. He wrote small steps, too. Day by day, he kept doing it. He slept early. He woke early. He exercised. He thought. He dreamed. He felt stronger. He felt hope. David realized Thomas was right. It is not just the hours, it is how you use them. Body, mind, and dreams together. Days passed. David worked every morning. He ran. He wrote. He planned his dreams. He worked on his projects every day. Slowly, people saw David. They liked his work. They told their friends about him. David became a famous freelancer. He worked for many clients. Clients were all over the world. He earned a lot of money. He could buy many things he wanted. David felt happy inside. He was proud. He was confident. He followed his dreams. He never gave up. His mother was very happy. She smiled. She said to her friends, "My son is strong and smart. He worked hard. Now he is famous." David smiled too. He knew his early mornings helped him. He promised to keep working. He promised to keep dreaming. He promised to keep learning. Now, David helped young people. He said, "Wake up early. Work on your dreams." Small steps every day make a big change. David's life was full of hope. David's life was full of happiness. David's life was full of success. He never forgot the magic hours, the hours from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m.